Hey everybody, let me kind of get you where you're not seeing all of my mess here, guys. Let me move my brushes back over. Let's see who all hops on. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've been live. Goodness, I have got a frog in my throat. Let's see who all hops on. I'll give you an update on Shar as soon as I get enough people on here. Hey Hope. How are you guys doing? I'm going to be posting a schedule, guys, today. It'll vary a little bit with Craft Around the Clock, but we're going to do it. Hey, Carol Ann, I can't wait to see you again. We are going to do a cute little, I believe I got this cutting board from Magnolia. Has a little indentation here. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Carol Lynn. Hey, Patty. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Joanne. But I am going to post a schedule because I won't be going live every day, but I will have a new video on every morning. I'm going to work today to get some new ones on for the week. And I'm going to give you guys an update on Shar. I talked to Shar last night, and the poor Shar, she sounded so bad last night. So bad. And so I told her to let me know what goes on today, and she's at the urgent care. Her ears are really red and infected, and her throat is... They don't like the look of her throat. So they're checking her for COVID, the flu, and strep. I did have fun, Jeannie. It was really fun. Hey, Arletta. So she's supposed to call me and let me know what they find out. And hopefully she's going to feel better. They get her on some antibiotics. Hey, Michelle Ladd. Hey, Dorothy. I'm glad to be home. I got home about 7:30 and Sheila got home closer to 9. But we had a fun time. Hey, Crystal. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of rice paper from Reba Rose. It's just the right size for this little cutting board, and it is a cute little fall rice paper. This one is a 5x7, but she has one that's 8x10. And I'm going to go ahead and I kind of looked at all my greens, and I'm going to use my English ivy around the edges. No problem, Florence. You get your eyes taken care of. That's important. And so what I'm going to do is try to take this lid off of this English ivy. And I'm going to wax it too because I don't want it to be so green. I'm going to use a small brush for this one on the front. Yeah, definitely keep Shar in your prayers. I kept calling Sheila Shar a couple times. Oh, Cindy, we did. We were having fun. I tell you what, we were having fun. I met some new creators. That's always fun. I'm going to go ahead and put my paint right down in this little groove. I'm going to use this green. We're going to go right down this little routed opening here. We're going to go ahead and make that green. Oh, we did have fun in Tennessee. We did. We did. Well, my daughter's alpha-gal test came back okay. So now they're still trying to find out what she's allergic to. If I get a little bit on this inside, it's okay because I'm going to paint it cream. Or actually, I'm going to paint it plaster. Let me get this around here. Well, hey, the Hen Den. Welcome. I'll make sure to go back and follow your page there. Hey, Joni, did you get rested up? Joni was there. I didn't bring my iPad over, so I'm having to look up for comments here. I meant to bring it over, and I just didn't do it. I'm going to be cutting out orders that came in while I was gone and try to get them all shipped out tomorrow. Let me kind of get in that little area there. It's going to get on the front of it, but I'll sand it and paint it down. Hey, Michelle. But I want to make sure I get in that little tiny groove because I don't want it to just to be plain wood. I want to have the color in it, and we're going to go ahead and do that green. And I'm not a big green person, but I do like English ivy for some reason. But I'm going to put a coat of wax over it too to kind of deepen it. It's got some sawdust right in there. I didn't see that. I think we got it all out there. Let's go ahead and paint that little groove right there. I meant to grab my iPad so that I could see all the comments over on Reba Rose, and I walked off and forgot it. I was in a hurry. Jeff went and grabbed something for lunch, and I was eating real quick. I kind of slept in this morning. Hey, Angela. Okay, I got one more little groove here. Whoops. But I did post this over to Reba Rose's page there. Hey, Betsy. Let me try to get my little brush. I'm kind of wiggling it in there. Wiggling it in there. I'm hoping when Char feels better, she starts back her painting subscription class. She's going to do a different theme every month. You finally found the English Ivy? I tell you what, I like the English Ivy. Now, I did put some calcium carbonate in mine to make it a little thicker, because it is a little runny. It is a little runny. I put all of mine in this little honey bottle, and it works good. I didn't bring a... Let me see if I can get that off my wood a little bit. That way I don't have to sand it so much. Let's go ahead and paint this green. I think this is going to look pretty with that paper. Pretty with it. Yeah, you have to, I need to thicken this one up just a little bit more. It needs a little bit more chalk consistency. I think I finally used enough of it down in there that I can do that. I really need to go over to our co-op and get me a bag of it too. I'm out of calcium carbonate, I think. I think I got maybe a tiny little bit left. Tiny bit. Hey, Lori Cheney. Today we didn't get to see the girls because today they're out of school and Mom and Dad didn't have to work. I'm going to try to get that rough edge there pretty good. And so we'll see our granddaughters tomorrow. No, I didn't, Sandy. This came from Magnolia Design Company. I've had it for a while. And I was trying to remember if they still have these on their website. They did discontinue some stuff, but they may still have this one. And I could have got it from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember. But I don't cut things this thick. Hey, Kim. Hey, Deb Cooper. I did meet a really sweet lady from South Africa. She was at the event, her and her husband. They were sweet as they could be. One of my daughter's best friends from college is from South Africa, so. That's okay, Suzanne. I'm glad you did, because I don't know, I'm not a green person, but I like this green for some reason. To me, it looks like spinach, and I love spinach. But I am going to wax it to make it kind of go a little bit deeper. Whoops, got a drip there. We're going to go ahead and get this. I'm going to switch to a bigger brush to get my sides, or my back here. Let's just lay that down. I'm going to take this one and just do the inside of my handle here. Sometimes we forget to do that handle. There. Now let's switch to a bigger brush. Hey, Lori. Whoop, I about put it in my plaster. And I haven't plugged in my heat tool yet. I took it with me and I brought it over and I forgot to plug it in. But that's okay. We'll get it plugged in. I need to get me a new one too. Hey, Gail. How are you doing? You know, you could use the back of this if you wanted to. You don't really have to use that router side that has that little opening. But if Magnolia sells this cutting board, if they still sell it, I'll put a link to it on my page. Because it's a pretty thick little cutting board. There we go. There we go. Get all this on here. And we're going to let it dry. I'm going to grab my heat tool here and plug it in. I'll probably have to stand up if I don't have an empty spot here. A little bit right there. Okay, now let's just set that over there. Let's put the lid on this so I don't knock it over. Oh, I bet it does. I bet it does, Suzanne. I got me a new little turn brush thing. It's more for makeup brushes, but I use it in here. Okay, let me turn this on. Let me plug this in. I tell you what, I hate now that you have to figure out what side is the broadest part of your deal. Oh, Laurie, I love meeting you too. It was really a fun event. I didn't get all of that in there. But I did talk to my daughter today. She's feeling better. Now that kind of took that paint a little wonky. Kind of splotchy. Yes, I am back, Gwen. Hey, Sandra, did you get rested up? I need to put a little bit more here on this top. It just needs to soak in a little bit more, I think. Let's see if we can straighten that color up a little bit. There we go. Maybe that'll dry better. Hey, Christina. Okay, that feels a little bit rough, and I don't have my sander. I took it with me. It's still in my van, but I'm going to not worry about it. Oh, we need to do the top here, too. Let's go ahead and do the top. We missed a whole top here. Gwen, I took one of the birdhouses from my trio or birdhouse kit, and I made the house a little bit bigger. And that's what I took for them, the kit. They could make it into a Christmas birdhouse, a fall birdhouse. They could have painted it or crackled it, and they made some really pretty birdhouses. Boy, that just kind of looks splotchy on there. I need to really stir this up. Okay. Now I know who she's calling that to. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you found some of the rag rugs this morning? In Cassville, wow. I think Sandra posted her birdhouse on her page. I see a piece of sandpaper here I'm going to use. Let me go ahead and sand that just a little bit so I can paint that. I'm going to sand that just a little bit and straighten out my color. Even out my paint there a little bit. sand those little rough edges off. I'm going to just use my Howard Dark Wax. I told Sheila, I've already taken out my one sponge. We were sorting socks before I left, and I came across probably, I don't know, a dozen or so of the grandkids' socks, and there was no mate to any of them. And they weren't just the girls, they were some of the boys' socks too. And I'm going to get some of those socks and bring them over here and keep them in my wax. I know, Nita. Every Monday I will be on at 1 o'clock because that's my time for the Reba Rose paper. Now this is going to make this a whole lot darker. It's not going to be kind of a bright green. It's going to be a whole lot darker. And that's what I like about this wax. Oh yeah, I have known Talisa probably 6 years now. And I always love it when I get to catch up with her. Let me tell you what, guys. In person, Talisa's a hoot. She always makes me laugh. Always. Okay. Let's get a little bit more on here because I don't want it to be streaked like the paint. But one thing about the Reba Rose, however long I need to take, I can take. There's not a time limit. I'm going to get just a fresh sponge here and just kind of go over that. And see, you're going to still see that it's green. It's just going to be a darker green. And you can make any paint a darker green with just other paints. But this one I have found, I get it to the right color of green that I want. And I need to go on my sides too. Well, hey, Clara. How are you doing? Did you guys get home okay? Oh, no kidding. Socks just disappear in the washing machine. But I have got to make 5 quilts between now and Christmas. I'm going to start with TJ's first because I have to ship his and the one for Haley. So I won't be going live every day. I've got stuff I have got to get done. And I've got that upper room to get cleaned up and make it. Oh, you did, Deborah? That's good. That virtual was really fun. That was real fun. Now I'm kind of putting a lot on that edge because I'm going to take this sponge and wipe a lot of it off. But that way it'll get in that rough edge there. Isn't that pretty? I just love that green. Absolutely love that green. Oh no, you did not hurt my feelings. Believe me, it takes a lot to hurt my feelings. Thank you, Summer. I get to see Summer here in a couple of weeks too. The event that we have in Muskogee. In fact, I've got to get some jars washed for that. Your ears are ringing? That's funny, Talisa. I bet they were ringing. There we go. Now I've got that wax on there, and that just looks so much better. Hey, Amanda. Let's go ahead and get a brush here, and let's just paint this cream. Well, I'm painting it. I keep saying cream is plaster. They talked over me, yeah. Straight through. We did too. We got home about, well, I got home about 7:30. Sheila got home about an hour and a half later. And to Lisa, she must have been flying home. She made good time. We all kind of stayed up until the ones who had already left. Make sure they got home okay. I think I finally went to bed when when Loretta and, not Loretta, Sandra and Brian got home. And my paint's a little thick. I'm going to dip into some water here. I think I've got my building a little bit too warm because my paints are all drying out. You don't have to have a perfect coat underneath your rice paper. You just need to have it painted a little bit. You got home around midnight. That's what I was thinking. Hey, Kay. Now, let me tell you what, Kay's husband, I tell you what, he had me laughing. And Kay's funny. She made us a shirt with our state that said Rekindle Blessings on it. I'm going to have to come, I may come live tonight and just show you what I got in my grab bag. If I can get all my kits cut out today, I will come live and show you what all I got. There was a lot of stuff. And then Sheila and I went to a couple Dollar Trees. We went to a antique, where it's kind of like I had a booth, but their stuff was pretty high. But we had fun. Oh, yeah. Call Kay Roly Poly. She told me to call her Roly Poly. And she's not Roly Poly, guys. She's just funny. And then I got to meet Monroe, who is a lady. That's her maiden name. She goes by her maiden name at these events. And she stayed with Sheila and I. We had fun. We had fun. I'm just being really careful on my edges here. Making sure my edge has got a good coat to it because I don't want my paper to go down in that corner. No, Teresa, it was so sunny. The sun was so bright it hurt her eyes. Because we were driving into the sun pretty much, the whole time. Oh, yeah, Monroe, she was funny. She loved to pick on Talisa. She was funny. Oh, yeah, I was in the game. I was number 25. And Talisa came and stole my present. But then she got it stole again. That Mickey Mouse bag kind of went around to everybody, I think. But we had fun. We had fun. It was a fun game. Their rules are a little bit different than ones I've ever played, but it turned out okay. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and dry that. I think I've got it good and dry. Or painted, not dry. Oh, yeah, Talisa picked back. She's a good sport. She's a good sport. I got a little bubble of water. Oops, I got paint on that. There we go. Got some paint on it. Yep, she got it in the end. You know, I don't know if I heard what was in it. Was it a scarecrow, Talisa? And I ended up with stencils, yeah. I ended up with some stencils. It was funny. I'm just going to take my scissors. I've already kind of marked around here. Do I want to do scissors? Yeah, I'm going to do scissors. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut off this white because it's a close fit. And then we'll look and see if it's close enough. And then if not, we'll take a little bit more off of it. And I know the top and bottom was the closest fit. It was a scarecrow. I heard somebody say it was a scarecrow. Talisa just wanted that Mickey Mouse bag is what she wanted. And she ended up with it. She ended up with it. Okay, I'm going to be really careful. Usually I do mine with some water on the end, but I've got to be very precise putting this piece of paper down. Because the cutting board I'm using, if I'd had a different, or I used the other side, it would have been do the edges and then just put it down. Just go ahead and get the edges with some water and let it go. But I did test this one. I know the sides are pretty close. I may have to put a little bit of green at the top there. Okay, I'm going to even up one side of this paper. And I'm going to take my, kind of split the difference between my top and bottom, because I'll come up with a little bit of green there. And I know I'm going to have to take more off of one side, so I'm going to do it off of this side right here. And sometimes you just turn it around and you just follow where you've made your little mark. And I usually try to go on the outside of my mark. That way it's better to be a little bit long than short. Oh, goodness, Amy, we sure will. We sure will. I've had my appendix out. I was probably 5 or 6. But I can still remember it. We'll definitely keep your son in our prayers. You know what I could do? Here's just a thought. Because I took off this piece right here, I can take this and just sneak it in here at the bottom. That's what I'm going to do. I don't need a very big piece. Oh, I know. She's got beautiful paper. I'm going to take my decoupage glue. I'm going to take a small brush here. I'm going to put just a little tiny piece down here at the bottom, and you're not even going to know it. Yeah, definitely keep James in your prayers. I'll tell you what, appendicitis is no joke. I was in 9th grade when my dad's ruptured, and he took him a while to recover. Okay, I'm going to just kind of use my finger. And I'm going to tear it. Just like that. And then let's dry that little tiny piece. There's always more than one way you can fix these. You can put a little bit of paint, put a little bit of paper if you got it. And this is just a hair. Just a hair. Let me get my pad here, is just moving everywhere. So now I can just put that up at the top. And that really blends in good. Once I get that glued down, you're not even going to see it. So I'm going to take my little spatula here that I got from Carol Ann. I'm going to dig in there. I need to order another container of this. I keep telling myself to order it. Now you're going to want to put a little bit of glue over the edge of that paper that you put on, because you want it to stick to it. Usually I put glue over the whole thing here, because you never know what part you're going to touch. And because of my lighting, I've got to lift it up a little bit. Yeah, we had fun. But I'll come on later this evening and show you what I got. There was some really neat stuff in there. And I got an apron that I need to start using, because I keep ruining some shirts. We may stencil that apron. And I think I know which one I'm going to use. We have one that says crafting is my something. Error in my era. That would be perfect. Okay, I think I've got a good coat all the way down. And let's just lay our paper. And one thing about decoupage glue, you don't get as many wrinkles in it, but I'm still going to put my iron on and iron it just a little bit. It won't take much. I'll start at the top. Make sure I'm good and even at the top. And I'm going to take my finger and just kind of rub it in, and that design looks really good right here. And then I'm going to rub from my inside out. Oh gosh, that green looks so good with that. So good with that. I got a little bit of glue here on my board. I'm going to wipe it off. And let's grab some parchment paper. Where did I do with my parchment paper? I had my parchment paper right here. Right there. Maybe we're not going to iron it because I don't know where it's at. I guess I moved it, or I could have thrown it away in my cleaning. Anyway, guys, I have some different fabrics here, and I've already torn them. This was a piece of, and it's got lots of strings on it. This was a piece of like canvas, and it has a little tan stripe through there, almost like ticking, but it's a canvas. This was a piece of the homespun green check, and it's pretty close. It's dark green, but it's pretty close. And then I had a couple yards, and I don't know where I got it. I've bought it for something. Of a really pretty, it's right here. It's a really pretty orange with a green and a yellow and a tan in it. And we're just going to make us a messy bow. No, we're not. We're going to just make us a little tie at the top with all of these. Isn't it, Carol Ann? I mean, I was looking at all my greens and it just matched perfectly. And the oranges really match with this one. Let me get all these strings off. We're just going to make a little tie at the top. And none of my pieces are the same length, so we're just going to cut them off. You could either put it up here in the handle, but we're going to tie it right here. Or do we want to tie it right there? Let's see what's going to look if we put it in the handle. I usually take mine like this, pull it through, and then I find my loop, pull those back through, tie it tight. I don't know if I like that white, but there's some white in here, some creamy white. I'm just thinking here, what else can I put on this? I have some beads, but I don't feel like painting beads. We could put some beads on it, but I'm going to just tie it in a couple knots right here. Need some red and green fabric. Yeah, I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. Let's just tie that down in a knot. And we're just going to let it hang over. We can let it hang over about like that. You could put a little bit of glue right here and have it hang where you want it. I could do something like that, and that would be cute. Or I could find my beads and paint some beads and string on it. Could do that. But this is what we're going to do for now. Hey, Sherry. Anyway, guys, this is what I had for today. It's just a short little video. These things don't take very long to do. They make neat Christmas gifts. Rice paper is very forgiving. Yeah, fabric's not on sale this week. I was looking at that too, Nita, because I was eyeing some fabric. But next week it'll be on sale. Every other week. But this is the cute one we got. And you can see here at the bottom, that paper just blended in right here. Let me show you really close. It was the same color and the same pattern, so it just blended in right here at the bottom, and you can't even see it. Can't even see it. But anyway, guys, this is my little project for today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. I think it's at 8:15 p.m., but I'll put out a notification, let you know what time I'm going to be on. And then I want to have my schedule on here too. Oh, goodness, Nita. They have a lot on sale, though, even still. Even still. But anyway, guys, have a great evening or afternoon, and I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye, everybody.